Good morning, students. So today we are going to discuss another topic of the C language known as the structures. A structure, shortly known as struct, is a collection of variables of different types. Structures are basically referred as an abstract data type or user-defined data type. So the question arises, why we need the structures? Like ordinary variables like int, char, float store a single piece of information. For example, int marks will store a marks, int salary will store a salary, similarly, and other data types. To store related information of same type, we use arrays. For example, char name 100 we store our name of a item. Int marks 20 will store the marks of say 20 students. So now to store information dissimilar type about a particular item, we use structure. Dissimilar basically are different types. We use a structure. So let's understand some of the examples of a structure. Let us suppose you want to store the information of a student. So what type of the information student can have is name of the student, roll number, his sex, whether male or female, class, section. Similarly, to store the information of book, what type of information we may require is title of the book, author, its price. Similarly, information of the employee, what will be employee name, employee ID, his sex, his salary. So these all are the related information of a particular item. So if we want to store this type of information, generally we use a structure. So suppose we want to store this information of a student. If there is no structure is used, then information of students are name of the student, roll number, sex, male, section. So what we can do is we can declare 5 different variables like char name 20 to store the name, int roll number to store the roll number, char sex to store this sex, then int class to store the class, then char section. But these are independent information and does not represent information of a student as a single unit. So we need to store information as a single unit. Then the structure come into the picture. So next is the how we declare a structure. A structure is declared by a keyword struct, followed by the name of a structure, then there is a curly braces and terminated by the semicolon. So look into there. Structure keyword, then the name of variable name, that is the name of a structure, then there is a curly braces you can see here, then there is a curly braces ends here, then there is a semicolon, and within the structure we declare data mappers, that is the various information, and that information is known as a data mapper. So let's see revisit the examples, previous examples. Now to store the information students, these are the information we need to store. Then how we store this in a structure? This. So I have created a structure known as student name. So the keyword is struct, name of the structure is student name, started with braces and with curly braces, then this semicolon is there. Now all the information I am storing here is char student name, int roll number, char sex, int class, char section. So this whole information is represented as a one unit. That is a one particular information of a student. Again, another example which we have just discussed is, let us suppose we want to store the information of a book like title, author, piece. How we will do that? Again, we will create a structure, say book. Here title will be of character type, so I say char title 20. Author will be of again a character type, I say char author 30. Price will be a floating type, I say price. So this basically represents information related to a particular book. Similarly, information related to the employees, you can try yourself to understand more about the structures. Now, another part is declaring creating the object of a structure. As an inbuilt data type, we create variables like int a. Here what we are doing is we are creating an object or a variable name of integer type. Similarly, char b is a variable of which type? Character. Similarly, in structure we need to create a variable. So how we do that? We use keyword struct, the name of the structure, then the variable name. Let's see the example. And in previous example, we use a structure book. What we are having storing that is char title 20, char author price. Now this is the object we are creating or a variable. Struct book and my book. Now my book is basically a variable name or an object of this structure. Now next question is how we will initialize a structure. Again, just like inbuilt variables, if we want to initialize integer type, what we do is int a is equal to 10. What does it mean is a is a variable of type integer and it will store value 10. So similarly for array, what we do is int array 5. So that means array. Here we have an array of how many elements? 5. Of which type? Integer, and its value will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Similarly, a structure can be initialized while declaration. So here I have declared a structure struct book char title 20 this, and here I am initializing. Look at this part in the red is struct, then book is the name of the structure. My book is what is the object of this structure or variable. Then start with the curly bracket. So first before comma is C language. So C language will go into which one? Title. Then I have a Knitkar, this goal as a author. Then again separated by comma. We have 350.50 which represent a price. So that means now what does it mean is I am declaring a variable of my book which will have information as C language as a title, Knitkar as an author, and 350.50 as a price. Now, next comes how we access each element of a structure. The element of the structure is accessed using a dot operator. So in the previous example, so what is the syntax is object name dot data element. In the previous example which we are taking is struct book char title 20 author price. Now if I want to access the author or price, how we'll do is first I need to create an object of this structure. So how we do that? Struct book my book. My book is the variable name of type book, and its value is C language, Knitkar, and 350. Now I want to access the title. I will use my book dot title. Similarly, to access the author, I will use my book dot author. Similarly, for the price, I will use my book dot price. So my book is the variable name of the object, dot is an operator, and price is a data type. Now let's discuss some of the practical examples of the structure to understand more about it. So let's again, as we do always, is create a simple program to understand the structure. Okay, I will create a simple program of student information and will accept the information from the user and display it. Let's start. So name of the structure will be this student info. Then we need to start with braces, then there will be a semicolon. So information is char, the name of the student, 30 characters. Its roll number, say roll. Its class, say class. So this is the first step. So first step is to create a structure. We have created it. The next step is to create an object. So how we create object? Using keyword struct, the name of the structure, that is struct this, then variable name says student underscore one. The next step is accept the values from the user. We say printf enter student information. The first variable is name. Let's say enter name of the student. Name is a strings. So we get percentage s. Then it's a name. Then next is let's copy. Enter the roll number of the student. The roll number is integer. We will use D. Then ampersand. Then okay. So pay attention here is when we are accepting a name, we need to store it into a structure. So what is the name of structure is student underscore one. So student underscore one, then there will be dot operator, then there will be name. Similar way here is we will use student one dot operator and row. And let's insert. Okay. Next is what do we have? Next is student class. So student class we have this. Then we use what? Instead of roll number we will use student class and it is percentage D. The next is marks. Again the marks will be stored in marks. Okay, let's revisit again. Printf enter student information, then enter the name of the student. Name of the student will be student variable name or object name dot operator. The name roll number will be object student one dot roll, then object student one dot student class, then object student one dot. And let's display it. That's the name of is percentage S. Name is stored where? From names we will copy. Let's copy from here. Similarly, we can write other information here. The roll number of student is roll number is a numeric one, integer with a percentage D. It has to be int roll. Then we will say next is the class of student is Class is a integer value, is a percentage. So name a student, class I will use student class. The next one is marks. I will use let's use new characters so that each information is printed in a new line. So let's again review it. This is the first step, that is create a structure. We have created structure with the name, roll number, student, class and marks. Then and next step is create an object of the student info. Object name is student1. The next step is enter the information. We say enter the information, enter name of the student. Here we will use the object name dot operator plus name. Then again here we use student1 dot roll number, student1 dot student class, then student1 dot marks, and here we are displaying it. Okay, let's run it. Let the name of student is Sukhpal, roll number student is 12, class is say 12, marks is say 95. So record the student you have entered. His name of the student is Sukhpal, roll number is 12, and the class of student is 12. Right? Marks is not there. Let's see with. Okay, so marks is not percentage L, it's percentage D. Okay, you can see that the name of student is Sukhpal, the roll number is 12, class of student Sukhpal, and marks is 95. So this is how we enter the information into the structure. So let's move into the next program. Write a program to set up 3 student information from the user and display it. So we need to enter 3 student information. So what we will do is, let's enter 2 students. I will do and create another object like stud_2. Alright, so now I have 2 records of a student. Stud_1 is the first and student_2 is the second record. So I again need to enter all the information. Let's copy it. Second student record. Second student is student_2. So we need to display it. Again we will copy it and we will print it here as student2. Student2. Okay. So let's revisit it. First step is enter the mark information student1. This is there. Then enter information student2. We use stud2, student2, student2, and student2 same way. Then we say display. This is way to display information of student1, and this is a way to information store the information of student2. Let's run it. Put semicolon. Enter the student second. Let's put second. Name of student is Sukhpal. Roll number of the student is say 10. Class of student is 12. Marks is say 9. Enter student second. Say name is Ajay. Say roll number is say 11, class is again 12, say marks is 90. So record of student you enter is name is Sukhpal, roll number is 10, class 12, marks is 90. So we got all the four information, just 12, 11, 12, 13. This is the way how we enter the multiple information. So next question is, same program is write a program to accept 5 student information and display that. Now, let us suppose we want to enter the records of 100 students. So do we create 100 variables here? Like student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4, student Y? No. So how we will do that? We will create an array of structures. Let's discuss that. So what is array of structures? Just like an array of input data types, we have array of structures. Syntax is again keyword struct, then struct name length. For example, struct book, my book 10. So here what I am doing is I am creating an object of 10 books. And the first book will have book 0, second book will have book 1, and so on. And if I want to access the price of say fifth book, how I will do it? My book 4 index. I will use index here, like we are doing in array. My book 4th index dot price. Let's do it practical. Okay. Let's create the records of 2 students only using this. So how we enter the records? We will enter the records using loops, as we done in array. Say int I is equal to 0. I will say for I is equal to 0, I less than 2, I plus plus. We need this? No. So what changes I am making? Just look carefully. So now here I have to use the index. How we use the index? I. Okay, so how it will work? First the index will be 0. So student 0 dot name will be entered. Student 0 dot name roll number will be entered. Student 0 was class will be entered. Student 0 dot marks will be entered. Then it will be incremented. Then I become 1. So student I record will be entered. I record dot roll number will be entered, and so on. Same way we need to display the information. Again we use the loop. We don't need the second one. And again we will use what? Index number. That's good. Where we use the index number? Index I will be there. 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 So let's again review it. What we are doing is we are creating a program to insert the records of 2 students, maybe 3 or 4, but currently we are doing the 2 students. So we will create a structure having name, roll number, student, class. Now we will, instead of creating number of objects, we will create an array of the structure. So here we are creating a array of length 2. So we will use a loop to insert the elements for I is 0, I less than 2. And here we will use the index number. You can see that. Same way we will use the index number to display the records. Let's run it. This roll number student is say 10, class is 12, say marks is 9. Enter the name, say Rakesh. Roll number is say 13, class again 12, and marks is say 45. So you can see that the name of student is Par, roll number 20, class 12. This is. So in this way we set the records of any number of students. Let us suppose I need to do for 10 students. I will simply do what? 10. And here I will be so try it yourself. So this is what an array of structure is. Okay, so this is all about the structures part 1. So in next section of the structure we will discuss structures with functions, structure with pointers and other things. Thank you. Thanks a lot.